Dear students, now let's study about some of the measuring quantities like pressure, temperature. How can you define pressure in thermodynamics? What are the units of pressure and what is blood pressure? Pressure. The amount of force acting per unit area is known as pressure. The unit of pressure can be, as we know that unit of force is Newton and area is meter square. So on the whole, the unit of pressure would be Newton per meter square, that is equal to Pascal. The IUPAC recommendation of pressure is lowercase p. However, uppercase P, that is capital P, is widely used. In SI units, pressure is measured in pascals and 1 pascal is equal to 1 Newton per square meter. Atmospheric pressure is close to 100,000 pascals. Here you can see in the diagram कि किसी भी एरिया पे अप्लाई होने वाली फोर्स जो है पर यूनिट एरिया को हम क्या कहते हैं, प्रेशर कहते हैं. और ये फोर्स और ये F जो है वो फोर्स को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है एंड A इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग द एरिया. Now what is liquid pressure? When a person swims under the water, water pressure is felt acting on the person's eardrums. The deeper that person swims, the greater is the pressure. Because क्योंकि जब कोई बंदा स्विमिंग कर रहा है तो उसके ऊपर वाटर का एक प्रेशर है, दैट इज लिक्विड प्रेशर. The pressure felt is due to the weight of the water above the person. As someone swims deeper, there is more water above the person and therefore greater pressure. The pressure a liquid exerts depends on its depth. Liquid pressure also depends on the density of the liquid. If someone was submerged in a liquid more dense than water, the pressure would be correspondingly greater. क्योंकि हमें पता है कि डेंसिटी, विस्कोसिटी, ये सारे फिनोमेना है जो लिक्विड टू लिक्विड वेरी करते हैं. तो अगर किसी लिक्विड की डेंसिटी ज़्यादा होगी तो उसका प्रेशर भी ऑटोमेटिकली ज़्यादा होगा. The pressure due to a liquid in liquid columns of constant density or at a depth within a substance is represented by the given formula. इसमें आपके पास जो लोअर केस p है, that is liquid pressure, g is gravity at the surface of overlaying material, rho is density of liquid, h is height of liquid column or depth within a substance. Now what is hydrostatic pressure? Hydrostatic pressure is the stress or pressure exerted equally in all directions at points within a confined fluid, either liquid or gas. It is the only stress possible in a fluid at rest. Rest की state में जो कि stress या pressure है जो equally direct हो रहा है सारी directions में. Lithostatic pressure. Lithostatic pressure is the stress exerted on a body of rock by surrounding rock. It's a pressure in Earth's crust somewhat analogous to hydrostatic pressure in fluids. Lithostatic pressure increases with depth below the Earth's surface. The actual pressure at a given position is called absolute pressure and it is measured relative to the absolute vacuum. Like gauge pressure is equal to absolute pressure minus atmospheric pressure. अगर आपने गेज प्रेशर कैलकुलेट करना हो तो उसमें हम बेसिकली क्या करते हैं कि जो आपका एब्सोल्यूट प्रेशर है, जो कि एक्चुअल प्रेशर है किसी भी गिवन पोजीशन में, उसमें से आप एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर को माइनस कर देते हैं. इन थर्मोडायनेमिक्स कैलकुलेशंस ऑलवेज यूज एब्सोल्यूट प्रेशर and a device that measures pressure using a column of liquid is called a manometer. The manometer measures the gauge pressure. Next is the Burden tube. It's a device that measures pressure using a mechanical deformation. Then we have pressure transducers. They are the devices that use zeroelectrics to measure pressure. They are very accurate and robust and they can measure gauge pressure or absolute pressure. Then we have barometer. It's a device that measures atmospheric pressure. It is a manometer with a near vacuum on one end. Now you can see the figures of Burden tube, pressure gauge, pressure transducers and barometer. Now what is gauge pressure? Pressure greater than atmospheric pressure that are measured relative to atmospheric pressure. Gauge pressure is the difference between the absolute pressure and atmospheric pressure, and you can calculate the gauge pressure by the given formula. Now what is vacuum pressure? Pressure less than atmospheric pressure that are measured relative to atmospheric pressure. and vacuum pressure equals atmospheric pressure minus the absolute pressure. You can see the formula. Now, in biological terms, what is blood pressure? Blood pressure is the pressure of circulating blood on the walls of blood vessels. Used without further specification, blood pressure usually refers to the pressure in large arteries of the systemic circulation. ये आप देखें कि वो प्रेशर जो कि ब्लड ये आर्टरीज की वॉल के ऊपर एक्सर्ट कर रहा है, इसको हम ब्लड प्रेशर कहते हैं. जब ड्यूरिंग द ब्लड फ्लो, ब्लड इज़ ऑल्सो अ फ्लूइड, तो बीइंग अ फ्लूइड उसका कोई ना कोई प्रेशर है जो वो एक्सर्ट कर रहा है आर्टरीज की वॉल के ऊपर और देन वो फ्लो कर रहा है. Blood pressure is usually expressed in terms of the systolic pressure, maximum during one heartbeat, over diastolic pressure, that is minimum in between two heartbeats, and is measured in millimeters of mercury above the surrounding atmospheric pressure, which is considered to be zero for convenience. Here is a chart that is representing the normal ideal blood pressure with lower, pre-high and high blood pressure. So the normal range of our blood pressure is approximately 90 to 120 millimeter mercury. ये देखें, ये नॉर्मल एक रेंज है. इससे नीचे अगर आपका ब्लड प्रेशर हो तो उसको हम लो कंसिडर करते हैं, और उससे हाई, ये देखें, ये हाई ब्लड प्रेशर है. Hope so you have cleared the concept of pressure and blood pressure. Thank you.